జాయిన్ అవుతున్నారండి, వచ్చేసారు. ఇదే వస్తుంది. హలో
సార్.
సార్
వెయిటింగ్ ఫర్
వెయిటింగ్ లో కాల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, కాల్ తీసుకోండి, మాట్లాడండి.
ఓకే, ఇక్కడ కనపడుతుంది కదా. యా మీరే మురళి గారు అనుకుంటా కాల్ అది బేసికలీ.
ఎలా తీసుకోవాలండి?
హలో ఎవరండి? హలో కాల్లో ఎవరండి? హలో హలో సార్ ప్లీజ్ మాట్లాడండి.
హలో
హలో హలో I'm seeing two numbers here in the call.
Yes.
And
కట్ చేస్తున్నాను, ఇంకా వేరే కాల్ తీసుకుంటున్నాను. హలో
హాయ్
సార్, మాట్లాడండి సార్, మీ డౌట్.
hello, can you hear me? Can you hear us అండి?
అలా కేసీఆర్ గారు ఇది ఏదో కంట్రోల్ ఇవ్వాలనుకుంటండి, మాకు కాల్ యాక్సెప్ట్ చేసేది ఏది కనిపించట్లేదు.
ఒక పని చేస్తాను మీకు. హలో సార్, మీకు నేను కో-హోస్ట్ ఇస్తున్నానండి.
ఇవ్వండి, ఎందుకంటే మాకు యాక్సెప్ట్ చేసేటట్టు లేదు ఇది.
ఓకే, ఒక్క నిమిషం, మీకు కో-హోస్ట్ ఇచ్చిన. కో-హోస్ట్ తీసుకోవచ్చు, ఇప్పుడు మీరు మాట్లాడచ్చు. మురళి గారు.
యా హలో. సో మనం ఏదన్నా అడ్మిట్ చేయాలా? ఇక్కడ 4 కనిపిస్తున్నాయండి, 3.
అడ్మిట్ చేసిన దాన్ని మళ్ళీ కట్ చేయాలని కట్ చేసుకోండి. మీరు అడ్మిట్ చేసుకోండి, కాల్ అడ్మిట్ తీసుకోండి.
ఓకే, హలో
హలో హలో
హలో
కాల్ వస్తున్నట్టే.
హలో ఎవరండి?
హలో
యా చెప్పండి
సార్, నా పేరు సురేష్ అండి. ఇది ఇమిగ్రేషన్ సర్వీసెస్లో ఇప్పుడు నిన్న చేంజెస్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ దీనివల్ల ఆర్డర్ వల్ల అంటే ఇక్కడ ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి ఏ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఇంపాక్ట్ ఉంటుంది, లేకుంటే ఇప్పుడు ఎమర్జెన్సీ ఏదైనా ఉండి వెళ్ళాలి అనుకుంటే ఇండియాకి వెళ్ళాలంటే ఎలా ఉంటుంది, స్టేటస్ ఏంటి అనేది కొంచెం డీటెయిల్స్ ఇస్తారా అండి?
డెఫినెట్లీ అండి, ఈ షో బిగిన్ అవ్వగానే మేము అన్ని డీటెయిల్స్ మాట్లాడతాము. ఇంకా షో బిగిన్ కాలేదు, మీరు కొద్దిగా లైన్ లో ఉంటే ఇట్ బికమ్స్ ఈజీ ఫర్ us to complete the call అండి. యూనో అన్ని మెన్షన్ చేస్తాం షోలో. యూనో
స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామా?
యా షూర్ అండి. మురళి గారు, ఐ థింక్ యూ నీడ్
సార్.
జస్ట్ ఒక 3 minutes టు గో అండి.
ఒక్క నిమిషం. యా
అదే బ్యాంక్.
ఫ్లేవర్ పెట్టలేదు.
అదే లింక్ కోసం అడుగుతున్నాను.
99 ఓపెన్ చేసినావా? 99 99 బ్యాంక్ ఇదేనా సార్ మురళి గారు?
యా, అవునండి.
సార్ నేను ఇప్పుడు షో స్టార్ట్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు నాకు మీకు 30 seconds పైన డిలే ఉంటుంది.
ఓకే.
కాబట్టి నేను ఏం చేస్తానంటే క్యూ అనేది నా కమాండ్ అన్నమాట.
ఓకే.
క్యూ కమాండ్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు మీరు తమ్ చూపించాలి నాకు. జస్ట్ నేను క్యూ అన్నప్పుడు మీరు తమ్ చూపించాలి. తమ్ చూపించిన 10 seconds తర్వాత, తమ్ము చూపించిన ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ 10 seconds తర్వాత మీరు స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి ఇంట్రో.
ఓకే, మీరు క్యూ చెప్పాక నేను ఇటు చూపించాలి.
అలా చూపించిన 10 seconds తర్వాత షో స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి.
ఓకే.
ఓకేనండి, రెడీ కదా?
యా.
అందులో ప్లే చేసుకో. ఆన్ చేస్తున్నానండి. జస్ట్ 30 seconds టు గో. ఓకే. వెయిటింగ్ లో 40 members ఉన్నారండి యూట్యూబ్ లో. అన్ని స్ట్రీమ్ చేసేస్తున్నాను అన్నిటిని. మురళి గారు రెడీ అండి. 10 seconds టు గో. రెడీ, క్యూ అండి.
Welcome to Mana TV, the one and only channel from USA, the telecast globally and available on all major platforms. We bring the most topics timely and conduct debates as a part of our ongoing community efforts. And we will bring you today's topic on President Executive Order, which is ban on certain non-immigrant visas and its implications. To discuss more on this breaking story, we have a distinguished guest and the most popular attorney, Banu Ilendra Garu, is on the line for us. Mr. Banu B. Ilendra Garu is the founder of BBI LLA Group, PC, located in Herndon, Virginia. He has represented almost more than 1,000 immigrant matters. He have excellent immigration matters on H-1B and L-1B and different kind of visas. Hello, Banu Garu.
Hi, Murli Garu. How are you?
Good, Andy. Welcome to our Mana TV virtual studios. Can you share what is this breaking story? Its significance. We are all affected and we are not required to worry about it. You know, this news is like, everywhere, the entire world. Like, we don't know exactly who is affected this. Can you please explain about what exactly this?
Sure, Murli Garu. We can speak in Telugu and English, or only in English, or in Telugu?
Anything is fine. I mean, yeah.
Anything is fine. Okay. Thank you, Murli Garu. Murli Garu, just I want to let you know that President Trump issued a proclamation order, which is nothing but it's an executive order restricting travel for certain type of non-immigrants and immigrants to enter the United States, basically. Okay. President Trump actually issued one of the executive orders in the past to restrict certain immigrants to come into this country in April. And that is actually valid initially for 60 days. Now he actually extended that restrictions till December 31, 2020 for the immigrants. Along with them, he added restrictions for certain type of non-immigrant travelers, basically, And the people who are majorly affected with this is basically including the certain type of immigrants, basically, because we already know about that. We discussed a lot in previous various calls, and everybody, I think lots of audience aware of that certain type of LP immigrants cannot come into this country right now. Now, the restrictions have been increased or extended to even for the H-1B visa holders, H-4 visa holders, L-1 visa holders, L-2 visa holders, H-2B visa holders, and certain type of J-1 visa holders, basically, So what Mr. Vice President said that is basically is due to the COVID-19 reasons and due to the economical reasons, and that has been created because of the COVID-19 national emergency pandemic, creating unemployment in this country and everything. He believes that these foreign workers are actually taking away the US jobs. And in order to stop that one, basically, so he felt like not allowing any new foreign worker coming into this country for 6 months will be a better thing right now during the COVID-19. And they're going to assess the situation basically on a periodic basis, basically, and then determine whom to enter into this country and whom not to enter into this country again after December 31, 2020. So right now, the people who are outside the country, okay, or who wants to basically planning to come to US on H-1B visa or H-4 visa, L-1 visa or L-2 visa or H-2B visa basically, or in a J-1 visa, certain types of J-1 visa basically, okay, those people will not be able to come into this country effective tomorrow onwards. Basically, that means tonight, basically after 12 a.m. tonight, those people will not be able to come into this country. However, until December 31, 2020. However, there are certain exceptions that have been given in that, okay? And this proclamation order will not affect anybody who's already in the United States. It is not applicable to the individuals who are already present legally in the United States. They're eligible to file transfers. They're eligible to file for extensions. They're eligible to file for change of statuses. They're eligible to change employers. Everything is normal for the people who are already in the country, basically. It is going to affect for the people who actually travel abroad to see their family or to meet their family or anything like that. Those people may get affected with this particular policy, whether they can come into this country or not. The sad part is, obviously they've given certain exemptions basically, and exemptions are basically is that if somebody already has a valid visa stamping in the passport, right? For example, somebody has a valid visa in the passport and they travel abroad for temporary reasons, and then he wants to come back to US, they're allowed to come back to US. But if somebody is getting a visa from tomorrow onwards, for example, on or after tomorrow, then those people are not allowed to enter into this country until December 31, 2020. So people really in a sad situation are the ones who went to abroad to get a visa stamped, basically, to get the new visa stamp so that they can come back into the US with updated visa and everything. Those are the people who really get hurt in this particular situation, Murli Garu. This is the gist of this thing, basically,
So, Banu Garu, sounds good. సో ఇది ఎప్పటి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అవుతుందండి? ఎప్పటి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అయ్యి ఎప్పటికి ఎండ్ అవుతుంది? ఎందుకంటే టీవీస్ లో వాటిలో అంటే డిఫరెంట్ చెప్తున్నారు. కొంతమంది 1 year రెస్ట్రిక్షన్ అని, కొంతమంది 6 months అని. దెర్ ఈస్ నో ఎగ్జాక్ట్ పీరియడ్ దే ఆర్ మెన్షనింగ్. సో అండ్ ఎప్పటి నుంచి ఎప్పటి వరకు ఈ రెస్ట్రిక్షన్ అవుతుంది? ఇప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ వీసా, లెట్స్ సే వీసా ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు ఎవరైనా ఇండియాలో స్టక్ అయి ఉంటే, ఎనీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ వీసా, నాన్ ఇమిగ్రెంట్ ఆర్ ఇమిగ్రెంట్ వీసాస్, వాళ్ళు రావచ్చా లేదా?
For the non-immigrant visa and immigrant visa holders, వాళ్ళకి already visa ఉంటే they can come into this country. The visa ఉండడం as of June 24, 2020, రేపటి నుంచి బేసికలీ వాళ్ళకి, అంటే ఇవాళ నైట్ 12 o'clock నుంచి బేసికలీ, రైట్, midnight 12 o'clock నుంచి దీని లోపల కానీ వాళ్ళకి వీసా ఉంటే వాళ్ళు రావచ్చు లోపలికి. కానీ June 24th తర్వాత కానీ వాళ్ళు వీసా అప్లై చేసుకుంటే, వీసా వస్తే వాళ్ళు రాలేరు లోపలికి. December 31st, 2020 వరకు అంటే టైం లైన్ ఇచ్చారండి బేసికలీ ఈ మెమోలో. ఈ proclamation order టైం లైన్ ఇచ్చారు. The timeline is basically is that this particular proclamation order will come into effect from June 24, 2022 till December 31, 2020. However, President said that the Department of Homeland Security Secretary and Department of Labor Secretary will provide their review, will provide their opinions basically in next 30 days, and they have 60 days time to make any recommendations, whether to extend this program or to decrease this program, whatever it is. But right now, this proclamation order is in effect till December 31, 2020.
So, ఇప్పుడు నాన్ ఇమిగ్రెంట్ అండ్ ఇమిగ్రెంట్ వాళ్ళకి బ్యాన్ కదండి. సో ఏ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ వీసా వాళ్ళు రావచ్చు? అంటే ఏ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ వీసా వాళ్ళు అక్కడి నుంచి, ఇండియా నుంచి, అంటే ఇది ఒక మన కంట్రీకైనా టోటల్ ఆల్ కంట్రీస్ కి ఎఫెక్టెడ్ అవుతుందా?
ఇది ప్రపంచం మొత్తం అండి, ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా రిక్వైర్మెంట్ అంటే అప్లికబుల్ అవుతుంది బేసికల్లీ.
ఓకే, సో ఏ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ వీసాస్ అంటే let's say H1B, L1B or H2B, there are a lot of kind of visas. Who are
the people who are not on H1B visa, who are not in H2B visa, who are not on H4 visa, who are not on L1 visa, who are not on L2 visa, who are not on certain type of J visas are allowed to come into this country. And people who are on B1, B2 should be able to come to US. They should be able to travel. Visitor visa మీద రాగలుగుతారు. People who are on F1 visa, they can come into this country to study, to pursue their education and everything. People who are on M visa, అది కూడా స్టూడెంట్ సర్టెన్ కేటగిరీ వొకేషనల్ కోర్సెస్ M visa అంటారు బేసికలీ. వాళ్ళు కూడా ఈ కంట్రీకి రావచ్చు, వాళ్ళకు కూడా ఎటువంటి రెస్ట్రిక్షన్స్ లేవు. అదర్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్ వీసాస్ లైక్ O వీసా కానివ్వండి, E2 వీసా కానివ్వండి, E3 వీసా కానివ్వండి, E1 వీసా కానివ్వండి, they're all eligible to come into America అన్నమాట. Only people who are not eligible to come to America is people who are in H1B visa, H2B visa, H4 visa, and L1 visa, L2 visa, and certain type of J visas. అది కూడా అందరూ కాదండి, దానికి కూడా ఎక్సెప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఎవరికైనా వ్యాలిడ్ H1B వీసా ఉందనుకోండి పాస్పోర్ట్లో, యాజ్ ఆఫ్ టుడే దే షుడ్ బి ఏబుల్ టు కమ్ టు అమెరికా. ఎవరికైనా వ్యాలిడ్ H4 వీసా ఉందనుకోండి పాస్పోర్ట్లో, దే షుడ్ బి ఏబుల్ టు కమ్ టు అమెరికా. ఎవరికైనా వ్యాలిడ్ L1 వీసా ఉన్నా కూడా దే షుడ్ బి ఏబుల్ టు కమ్ టు అమెరికా. They should have that visa as of today, basically, because this proclamation order is coming to effect by midnight 12 a.m. today. So as of today, if they have a visa, they should be able to come to America. L1 అయినా రావచ్చు, L2 అయినా రావచ్చు, ఎవరైనా రావచ్చు, వీసా ఉన్నంత వరకు.
సో బేసిక్ గా దే ఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు, అంటే కొత్త వాళ్ళని రిస్ట్రిక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు ఎవరికైతే వీసాలు ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్నాయో దే డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ ఇష్యూస్.
Absolutely, that's what it is basically. See, there are certain factors in this particular proclamation order. When President is basically making his argument why he thinks this restrictions are justified, he basically gave certain numbers saying that this industry has been affected, this many people unemployed and everything and all these things. But if really look into it, they're basically restricting the new people coming into this country. It's whether it's motivated by economy, we do not know that, or it's motivated politics, we do not know that. Only those people can tell exactly what is their motivation is. Migration Institute, basically, ఒక ప్రైవేట్ నాన్ ప్రాఫిట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ మైగ్రేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ అని చెప్పని వాళ్ళు ఒక ఆర్టికల్ రాశారు సిఎన్ఎన్లో. సిఎన్ఎన్ has written an article providing the statistics of those. As per those statistics, basically, totally around 167,000 people are affecting with this particular executive order as of now.
So Banu garu చాలా మంది కాల్స్ లో ఉన్నారండి. We'll take some calls actually.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Definitely.
Hello, Prashant. Hello, Andy. Prashant.
Hello, Mr. Prashant. Can you hear us?
Hello, Prashant. Hello, Ravi. Hello, Ravi. I think they have some issues and connection. సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ కోవిడ్ సిచ్యువేషన్ వల్ల చాలా మంది అంటే హెల్త్ కేర్ వర్కర్స్ కూడా వస్తుంటారు కదండి, న్యూలీ వస్తుంటారు. సో వాళ్ళకి ఏమన్నా ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతుందా ఇది? అంటే నర్సెస్ కానివ్వండి.
అందులో వాళ్ళకి ఒక రకమైన ఎగ్జంప్షన్ ఇచ్చారండి బేసికలీ హెల్త్ కేర్ వర్కర్స్ కి. బేసికలీ డైరెక్ట్ గా ఓపెన్ కూడా దే సెడ్ దట్ ఎనీబడి హూ ఇస్ యాక్చువల్లీ కమింగ్ ఇన్ టు ది అమెరికా ఫర్ ది పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ నేషనల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ బేసికలీ, ఓకే, దోస్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ ఎగ్జెంప్టెడ్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ రిస్ట్రిక్షన్స్ అని చెప్పి ఇచ్చారు. That means healthcare workers who are working for COVID pandemic, I think they are basically comes under that category. Therefore, they may be exempted basically on that. Basically, food workers ki basically, and this people who are working in the national interest in the workers ki exemption ichar basically. So those people should be able to get a new visas if they don't have a visa already and able to should come into this country as long as they can document that they're coming for the purpose of. For the sake of national interest or for the sake of working in the food industry, basically.
Okay, and we'll try to take another call. There are a few calls on the line.
Sure, Andy.
Hello, Shilpa garu. Hello, Shilpa. connect అవుతుంది. I think they have some issues and connection issues.
Yeah.
సో ఈ ప్రొక్లమేషన్ ఆర్డర్ అనేది ఇట్స్ సేమ్ లైక్ ఏ ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ ఆర్డర్, ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ ఆర్డర్.
Yes.
సో ఇది ఏమైనా ఇది హౌ మెనీ టైమ్స్ ఇస్ హ్యాపెండ్ అండి? అంటే ఇది ఓన్లీ కోవిడ్ వల్లనే ఎరైజ్ అయిందా, లేకపోతే ఇట్స్ ఆల్రెడీ ఇదివరకు కూడా చాలా ఇలాంటి జరగడం జరిగిందా?
Executive order, it's basically administrative decision by the president, and he has an authority to make any administrative policies, basically, right? Because he's responsible to run the country. Okay, so executive orders are very common method, common source, basically, for the president to issue an orders, and those orders are adapted by the agencies who are responsible to implement those orders and those policies, basically, you know. And దాని మూలకంగా ఈ ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ ఆర్డర్ ని ప్రెసిడెంట్ బేసికలీ కెన్ యూజ్ as a very good tool to implement to basically to render his policies, basically. So that's what it is, basically. So now he's basically actually giving a directive to the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of State and Department of Labor what to do, what not to do in coming months. He has a complete authority on those issues, basically. That's how these executive orders will come into existence. And they are not law, actually. Laws can be only passed by the Congress. These are the policy, these are the departmental policies, these are the administrative decisions, basically, and how to adapt, how to basically operate certain organizations or agencies, basically, in this country. In that way, executive orders basically has been issued by the president, basically, you know. And lots of times, lots of presidents have done in the past also, dealing with the immigration matters with the executive orders, basically, right? Obama had done with the DACA. DACA actually started with the executive order issued by the Obama, basically. H4 EADs, basically, right? Even that is also actually started with the executive order issued by Obama, basically, while he was a president of the United States, basically, right? So even in Bush government also, several executive orders came under the immigration matters, basically. And President has a insurmountable amount of president has unlimited power of authority to determine whom to allow into this country, whom not to allow into this country, and basically, okay. And that's what Supreme Court also in recent case has reiterated. They're saying that under Section 212 of the INA, that can be done, basically, you know. So in that way, President can issue this kind of an orders if he thinks it is best interest of the nation, basically, you know.
సో భాను గారు, ఈ బేసిక్గా H1B అనగానే మన ఇండియన్సే ఎక్కువ ఉంటారు. సో ఇలాంటి ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ ఆర్డర్స్ వల్ల ఎక్కువ నష్టపోయేది మన ఏ దేశం వాళ్ళు ఉంటారండి? అంటే ఎక్కువ శాతం మన వాళ్ళు, అది కూడా తెలుగు వాళ్ళు ఎక్కువ ఉంటారని మన అభిప్రాయం. సో అది నిజమే అంటారా?
H1B వీసాకి వచ్చేపాటికి yes, that is true. And H1B H4కి వచ్చేపాటికి majority of the visa are utilized by the Indian companies and Indian nationals, basically, especially in tech industry, right? So అందులో కూడా I think majority of the states, basically, who really take advantage of the tech industry in India, dominant tech industries in India is from Telugu states, basically, right? Telangana and Andhra Pradesh is two states which are very dominant in tech industry, basically, in India. Majority of the tech industry after Bangalore and Pune is basically decided in Hyderabad, basically, right? So that's where the dominance comes, basically. So H1B visa and H4 visa will severely impact our country nationals, basically, because they are the ones who are coming into this country in those tech skilled worker positions or a tech executive positions and L1s and everything. As I said, as per the Migration Institute, basically, they claim that around 29,000 people on H1B visa are getting affected with this. They did not talk about how many H4s are getting affected. They only talked about H1Bs. That means you can imagine how many H4s are also getting affected. Will be around 29,000 to 30,000. So you're talking about 50 to 55,000 people are getting affected, right, with this executive order. And imagine if they already have their families in this country and they already have jobs in this country, the children were born in this country and everything is being done. And now with this restriction order, basically, they are stuck in India or stuck in anywhere in the world. I don't know how reasonable it is. And also, the major issue is basically is that there are several articles, several surveys, several reports, economic reports clearly said that unemployment has not increased in the tech industry, where actually these H1B workers and L1 workers are more utilized, basically, right? Therefore, unemployment rate has been low in those particular industries. So we do not know whether is it really a genuinely economic reason to put restrictions on this tech workers, basically like H1B workers or L1 workers, basically, you know.
Okay, Andy. There are a lot of callers. Let's try to. Hello, Andy. Hello, Andy. Who is on the line?
President has a infinite amount of President has a, I mean, unlimited power authority whom to allow, whom not to allow into this country. Murali garu, I think we have some technical difficulties, Andy.
Yeah, I think there are some difficulties, Andy. So,
yeah.
so Bhanu garu explain చేయండి ఒకసారి ఈ గ్రీన్ కార్డు దాదాపు మన గ్రీన్ కార్డు గురించి ఒకసారి మాట్లాడుకుందాం, చాలా రోజులు అయింది. సో ఈ గ్రీన్ కార్డు వెయిటింగ్ పీరియడ్ ఎలా ఉందండి? ఆల్మోస్ట్ 10-12 years నుంచి అసలు ఏ మాత్రం కూడా మూవ్ కావట్లేదని ఒక అపోహ, అది నిజమే అంటారా?
నిజమే కదండి, basically, and backlog is very long and very strong, basically, and it's been pending for a long period of time, and especially for India, a backlog is like 10-15 years, 20 years, 30 years, basically, right? So we do not know when the dates will move for the Indian nationals, basically, you know, and only hoping is because now they have not issued any new green cards during the past 2 months, and also hoping that they may not issue any new green cards for the next 2 months.
ఒక నిమిషం భాను గారు, హలో అండి. హలో అండి, లైన్
తీసుకున్నా ఒకటి కనెక్ట్ అయింది.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Andy.
Yeah, we can hear you. Hello.
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 Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me, who is this?
Hello. I think they have a problem calling to this one, I believe. I mean, they're having difficulty in calling Zoom.
Hello. Hello. Is the call still open?
Yes.
The call is still open. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I got the forward message from one of my friend in the group, so I joined this call.
Okay, sir. How can I help you? I mean, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I mean, just one question I have. So, I'm currently holding L1 visa.
Okay.
And I got my extension recently approved. I initially had plans to go to India and then come back, but with the proclamation that was ordered yesterday by Trump's executive, I am in dilemma, whether to go at this point of time or not. So I just wanted to. I know that most of my friends said that, or what the order says, it's not advisable to travel because I do not have a valid visa on my passport. But I just wanted to get your opinion on that as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, effective from tomorrow, if you do not have a valid visa and the passport, even if you get a visa after tomorrow, you'll not be able to travel until December 31, 2020. As of now, we do not know when the policy will change by the government, but as of now, you will not be able to travel till December 31, 2020 to the United States if you do not have a visa in your passport as of now. It's an unfortunate thing, but it is what it is, basically.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So this indirectly tells that the embassy, whatever we have in India, the US embassy, I think that's been closed till December 31st. That is what I understood. Is
No,
that correct?
that's not correct. Embassy, it has nothing to do with the embassies opening up and embassies closing basically there,
Okay.
and embassies can be closed and opened up anytime there basically, and
Okay.
uh, the the government has not given a date or time when they're going to open the embassies abroad basically, but the way it's trending with the COVID-19 right now, because of the surge we have seen today in California, there are more than 5,000 cases today in COVID-19 cases have come today. Same thing with the Texas, Arizona, and Florida basically. So there is a concern in the government how the COVID-19 is shaping up basically. So based upon that, probably the consulates will start opening up in abroad. Uh, we do not know when will be the earliest date the consulates will open, but it has nothing to do with your travel restrictions till December 31, 2020. Consulates may open before that, or consulates may open even after that. We do not know that basically.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Thank you so much for your inputs, and we hope the situation will get better soon. Thank you. Thanks again.
You're welcome, sir. Anytime.
Hello.
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 Look,
Yeah, my
this
name
is
is Rajnikant.
Hello. May I know your name, sir?
Yeah, this is Manoj.
Okay. Tell me, Mr. Manoj, how can I help you?
Yeah, I'm in US on H1 visa, and my wife and children are in India on H4, but their visa is expired and they are waiting for stamping.
Mm-hmm.
Now, given the EO, can they apply for the visitor visa to enter into US?
Yes, they can apply for visitor visa to enter into US. Once the consulates open services, basically visa services, they should be able to apply for visitor visa and come. As far as I know, the visa appointments online, I think you're getting some time in February 2021, basically. So I could be wrong, but somewhere I saw the message saying that now the general appointments are available for February 2021 only, not before that. So if they want to apply for a visitor visa, they're welcome to apply, and they should be able to, if they get a visa, they should be able to travel to US on a visitor visa.
Good evening, Banu Garu. I have a question, like, for the people who are on, waiting for their extensions to happen, and currently in US, is there any impact on them?
No impact on them, Andy. People who are in this country are normal. They have no impact. There is no impact with this executive order. They should be able to continue their regular job or regular activities as goes on. Basically, they should be able to file for extensions. They should be able to file for the transfers. They should be able to even file for the green card status, and it's all there. Basically, they can even file for their green cards if their employers are willing to sponsor green cards for them. So, no restrictions in that way, Andy.
Okay. So ఇంకా జస్ట్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ అండి, సేమ్ థింగ్. ఇప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ వీసా ఉన్న వాళ్ళు, సే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నా వీసా డిసెంబర్ వరకు ఉంది. సో ఇఫ్ ఐ గో బ్యాక్ టు ఇండియా ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ నౌ, కెన్ ఐ కమ్ బ్యాక్ బికాస్ ఐ హ్యావ్ a stamped visa before that?
You should be able to come back, Andy, definitely. But I would advise not to avoid traveling if possible, unless a family emergency or anything like that. I would advise to avoid traveling, Andy, because we do not know, due to this COVID-19 pandemic, to this national emergency, we do not know how the policies will change in the future. Unless it's an emergency, I would not advise you to travel, Andy.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Banu Garu.
Hello, Banu Garu. This is Kishore. Adding to same question, regarding the extension. This is Kishore. This is Kishore.
Kishore, tell me.
Yeah. So I'm just adding to the question he just raised regarding the extension. My spouse, we applied for H4EAD extension. It's in the process. So now, whether she can able to work on the receipt, her expiration is going to end in next month. So we got an email from HR saying that they need a card. So ఈ సిచ్యువేషన్ లో ఎలా హ్యాండిల్ చేయొచ్చండి?
Unfortunately, H4s cannot work while their extension is pending, and they need to have a valid H4 EAD to work basically. Okay, and if her EAD is expiring next month, then she has to stop working after that officially, and she can again restart her work once she gets an EAD into the hand.
Is there any a way at this time to expedite or the process?
You can always
At the current
you can always request to expedite the H4 EAD processing by calling the customer service and telling them the reason why they should consider case separately for expediting for the expedited request. Basically, there should be some kind of a situation where it will really cause severe harm if the USCIS does not approve an EAD in a month. Basically, that harm should not be your personal. I mean, your personal can be one factor, basically, especially if you have any sick child or anything like that, healthcare expenses or anything like that. Yes, you can make that kind of a request, basically, But just saying that because I lose my job, that is not a valid reason, because everybody is in the same boat, basically,
She says the 485 is approved. Okay, so then what is the issue?
Hello, that's what it is, basically, Yeah. Any other question you have, Andy, basically? Hello?
Banu garu, na పేరు సతీష్ అండి. I have a question.
Sure.
సార్ యాక్చువల్గా మా బావగారు మా సిస్టర్ వాళ్ళ హస్బెండ్ లాస్ట్ ఫిబ్రవరిలో ఇండియా వెళ్ళాడు. జస్ట్ హ్యాండ్ ప్రింట్స్ ఇచ్చాడు. హ్యాండ్ ప్రింట్స్ ఇచ్చిన మరుసటి రోజు నెక్స్ట్ ఇమ్మీడియట్గా అది క్యాన్సిల్ అయిపోయింది. ఐ మీన్ టోటల్ కాన్సులేట్ క్లోజ్ అయిపోయింది. అతను H1 మీద ఉన్నారు. సార్ కెన్ యూ హియర్ మీ?
I can hear you, Andy. Yes, I can.
అతను H1 మీద ఉన్నారు. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ ఆర్డర్ సంథింగ్ ఉంది కదా, మా సిస్టర్ ఇక్కడ తను షీఈ్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ కంప్లీటింగ్ హర్ PhD and she is on F1.
Okay.
So what are the chances? Can he once the consulate is open, can he change to F2 and come? Is there any chance something like that?
You should be able to try for F2. There's nothing wrong with it. But point is, only the issue with F2 and B1, B2 visas are basically is they're not dual intent visas. That means they have to show an intent to return back to home country upon their time in this country on the particular visa, basically. Like, for example, if he's coming on F2 visa, he has to show that he has ties to India and is intent to return to India along with her spouse upon completion of her education in the United States, basically. If he can document that, I don't see any problem him getting an F2 visa, and he should be able to travel to US on F2 visa and join his spouse who's actually pursuing her PhD education over here.
Yeah, and another extension for this question, Banu garu, like Tana H1 is got approved, and so once if everything goes good, he comes on F2. Can he shift again to H1? Is
Yes.
there a possibility?
Yes, he should be able to. He's not subject to the cap, right? He's already as an H1B approved, so he's not subject to the cap. So only thing is he has to vary about 60-90 day rule, and then file for H1B change of status after that, basically. Okay, and 60-90 day rule is basically a rule that actually imposes presumption of fraud on an individual who comes into this country on a certain visa, especially single intent visas like F1 or a B1, B2 visa, and if they try to file a change of status to some other status into this country. 60-90 day rule means basically if somebody wants to change to any other non-immigrant status, they should wait at least 60 days. After 60 days if they file, then the presumption of fraud will not be applicable to them. 90-day rule means basically if anybody wants to file for a green card, I believe you know that basically. So that's
So I mean, sorry, I was not aware of this rule. Like, you mean to tell like వచ్చిన తర్వాత 60 days తర్వాత మనం ఫైల్ చేయాలంటారండి?
అబ్సల్యూట్లీ అండి, అబ్సల్యూట్లీ. లేకపోతే ప్రిజంప్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్రాడ్ అనేది ఉంటుంది అనమాట. బేసికలీ వీసా ఫ్రాడ్ చేశారని ప్రిజంప్షన్ ఉంటుంది బేసికలీ.
Okay.
To avoid
that, it's a good point. I mean, like, I'm not aware of this one. It's a very good point to me.
Yeah. Thanks, Andy. But one thing I want to tell to all the callers, please be advised that this call, whatever advice we're giving in this call, does not constitute attorney-client privilege, and basically this particular show is meant for the educational purposes and general awareness purposes about the president's proclamation order restricting travel ban and all other immigration matters into discussion. So anything discussed in this call is not protected under the attorney-client privilege, basically. And also this information can be disseminated and posted and publicized in all the public forums and general media. And please be advised, that's very important to all the callers to know this. And just want to bring an attention to everybody while we're talking in this call. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Bhanu garu. You helped us. And thank you, Murli garu, for hosting this one. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Next caller, please.
Bhanu garu, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, I'm able to hear you. Your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Fanindra, and first of all, thank you so much for taking some time for all of us to clarify the things. And definitely during this time, it's really helpful for all of us to get the questions clarified.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody has already asked, but my question is like, I'm on H1 visa, and right now in United States with a stamp visa, and my wife and kid are in India. My kid is a US citizen. Wife is having H4 stamped visa already.
Okay.
Can they travel back to US without any issue at the port of entry or immigration or anything?
Absolutely, Andy. They should not have any problem to travel back to US. They should be.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. And one other question, Andy. One of my friend is going for an extension. He's in US right now. Do you think will the extension cause any issues? I know with respect to either executive order or with general psychology of the USCIS and all, like in general, what do you think?
There should not be any problem for him.
Okay.
Executive order does not have any restrictions on the people who are staying in this country, and the USCIS also did not show any tendencies basically to create any issues with the immigration adjudications as of now. We are getting 3-year approvals now without any problem basically. Also, application has been very fast also if it comes to it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Next caller, please.
Hi, Bhanu. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, Bhanu. I have a question. Actually, my wife has filed. My wife's employer has filed H1 extension for her, and even though application has been upgraded to premium last week, and this isn't it.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello.
I think it's yeah. Who's this?
Who is this?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello.
Hello.
Bhanu sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, sir. Yeah, my name is Priya. So, నాకు ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ఉంది సార్. నేను STEM OPT పైన ఉన్నాను. So, I have applied for my H1, H1B. So, నాకు I don't know if I'm making sense with this question. So, ఇప్పుడు ఒకవేళ నాకు కాన్సులేట్ వీసా వస్తే అలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ లో ఏంటి సార్ కాన్సిక్వెన్సెస్? బికాస్ till December I cannot go to India, right?
No, nothing like that. You can go to India anytime you want to. Okay. Only thing is, but you will not be able to come back to US until December 31, 2020.
So in that case, I have to go for stamping after December 2020.
I mean, if the consulates are open, you can go for the stamping anytime, basically. There is no restriction that you can't go for stamping prior to December 31, 2020. But only thing is, you cannot travel back until December 31, 2020.
Okay. Yeah, got it, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Next
That was my question.
Yeah. Thank you. Next caller, please.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Bhanu, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Andy. Yeah.
సో నా పేరు అమర్ అండి, నేను ప్రజెంట్ యుఎస్లో ఉన్నాను. ఐఎమ్ ఆన్ L1 వీసా అండ్ నాకు H1 వీసా అప్రూవ్డ్ త్రూ కాన్సులర్ ప్రాసెసింగ్. బట్ అది వచ్చేసి వ్యాలిడిటీ అంటిల్ లైక్ January, end of January next year.
Okay.
So current situation though, can I file for change of status?
You should be able to.
Do I need to go?
You should be able to file. If that employer has not withdrawn your H1B, you should be able to file. But however, you have to understand this recent trend with the USCIS is, if the H1B petition is approved for consular processing, and if they haven't gone for the stamping, they are basically issuing an RFE saying that they're still subject to the cap. Okay, and it's basically we in our law firm, when that issue has come, when that RFEs have come, we were successfully able to rebut that issue basically and told them that you are not subject to the cap. USCIS actually has a process and procedure has to be followed, and you'll be counted towards the cap already when the H1B is approved. You should not, you will not be considered not counted to the cap only if your employer expressly states in withdrawal of the H1B petition that they're not utilizing that cap number, then only you're not subject to the cap. You should be able to file for change of status and make this kind of an argument if they issue an RFE saying that how you are not subject to the cap.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was under the impression that I have to go back to India to get it stamped and change the status. But this is a good information. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
నా పేరు సత్యన్ అండి. So actually my question is, my wife is in India, someone H1 here. I have a stamping with H1 next year, until end of next year. She hasn't gone for stamping yet. Will she be able to go to stamping now and come to US?
Unfortunately, she cannot come to US, and she can go for a stamping. Once the consulates are open, she should be able to go for stamping. I mean, nothing says that she cannot go for a stamping, but because of this proclamation order is in existence, will come into effect as of midnight today, she will not be able to travel until December 31, 2020, because she doesn't have a visa as of now, because she has to go for the stamping, get a new visa, and then travel to US basically, and that's why she has to wait till December 31, 2020.
Hello?
Okay.
Hi, Bhanu.
Hi.
Bhanu, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but there's a lot of background noise, sir.
Bhanu, okay. So I have a question. Like, my wife's H1B extension is filed, even though application was upgraded in premium. But the thing is, her I-94 is getting expired on 27th of June. So we were planning to file H4 change of status. So it is advisable to file change of status, considering like we never know like what would be the outcome of H1B. Let's say if H1B extension gets approved, we can withdraw that. So is it possible?
You can always do that, sir. But you have to file H4 change of status prior to expiration of our I-94. That is prior to June 27th, I believe. Right?
So after that, will the like if the decision is pending, so after that will the filed petition, will that act as a bridge or not?
If you file after June 27th, basically what happens is your H1B extension that is pending right now will act as a bridge petition for the approval of the change of status of H4, because she doesn't have a status at the time of filing, And if H1B is denied, then automatically her H4 change of status will be denied, because she does not have any legal status. There is no petition that actually validates her lawful status in the United States. So if you're filing as a security blanket for the H1B, then it should be filed prior to June 27, 2020. And yes, because you filed H1B in premium processing, if H1B gets approved, then you can withdraw that H4, because there's no premium processing for H4.
Mm-hmm. And only employer can file the H4, or
no, H4 is filed by your wife. Your wife should file for H4. Your wife or your wife's attorney. We are very happy to help you. Should you need our services, please contact us privately.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Hello.
Yes.
Bhanugar, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you, Andy. Yeah.
Sure, sir. Nadi 6 years, I'm on H1 visa, and my 6 years is getting ended in sometime July. My perm has started sometime in December, but I have not received any approval on my perm. So, నాకు ఇక్కడ 2 questions ఉన్నాయి సార్. ఒకటి, do I get any grace period after my 6 year of H1 visa to stay in the country because of the COVID situation and kind of tight travel situation, number 1. And the number 2, if I have to go out of India, will my perm be impacted, which is yet to get an approval?
First question is, unfortunately, there is no grace period because of the COVID-19. Andy. USCIS has not given any such kind of a grace period for somebody to overstay in this country because of the COVID-19 crisis. USCIS said they advise people to file for some type of visa relief prior to the expiration of their status if they don't have any other option, basically. So my question is this, basically, by July, by the time your H1B status expires, if your labor is not approved and your I-140 is not filed and I-140 is not approved, then you cannot get extension beyond your 6 years, basically. So what you can do is that you can file for B1B to change of status if you can't travel abroad and wait in this country while B1B to change of status is pending. Meanwhile, if your perm is approved, and then you can file I-140 in premium processing, because premium processing is open right now for I-140s, and once that I-140 is approved, then you can come back to H1B visa anytime on that time. Other option is, if you go to India, basically, processing of your perm application is depending upon your employer. If your employer intends to continue your green card, intends to hire you permanently upon you receiving your green card, then they should be able to continue processing your green card. It should not be affected, basically, where you are in this country. Green card can be sponsored to the individuals who are in this country or who are even outside the country also. It all depends upon the employer and their offer of employment.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. So one quick follow-up question, sir. Sir, B1 lo convert avvachu annaru kada. So B1 lo convert ayinappudu, can I still do some work for my company and still get paid?
Unfortunately, no. You cannot work for them, basically. I mean, if your company is willing to get the B1 for you, basically, and then basically they may be able to pay you ancillary expenses for you for any training or any knowledge sharing purposes in this country, but you cannot legally work in this country on a B1 B2 visa.
Oh, okay, Bhanugar. Thank you so much, Andy. Thanks a lot. Appreciate all that.
Definitely.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Bhanugar.
Yes.
This is Bala.
Yes, Bala garu.
Yeah. మా ఇక్కడే ఉందండి. తనకి వీసా August 31st, 2020 వరకు ఉంది. ఇప్పుడు ఇండియాకి వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ యుఎస్కి వచ్చే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి కదండి?
Yes, she should be able to. I'm not saying that she should not, but what is the reason for her to go to India right now, Andy?
మా కిడ్ అక్కడ ఉన్నాడు ఇండియాలో, తను తీసుకొని వద్దామని.
And that once that I-140 is approved, then can come back to H1B visa. Okay, I understand, Andy, but right as of now, there is no problem. As long as she comes back before expiration of her visa, she should be okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Visa must be in the passport. మీ కిడ్ ట్రావెల్ చేయలేడు అక్కడి నుంచి?
ఏంటండి?
మీ కిడ్ అలోన్ ట్రావెల్ చేయలేడా అక్కడి నుంచి?
3 years kid, 3 years.
3 years and
3 years. I mean, he can travel alone kada. I mean, I understand basically. It's
yeah, అంటే రికమెండబుల్ కాదు అంటున్నారండి ఇప్పుడు చూసుకోండి.
ఓకే రికమెండబుల్ కాదంటున్నారు. ఓకే అండి. యా కరెక్ట్ అండి. అంటే తర్వాత యాక్చువల్గా కోవిడ్ అయిన తర్వాత తీసుకొద్దాం అనుకున్నా, కానీ December 31st దాకా లేదన్నారు కదా, ఇంకా మాకు ఆప్షన్ ఏం కనబడట్లేదు, అందుకని ఈ 2 months లో వెళ్ళి తీసుకొద్దామని చేస్తున్నాం.
అండర్స్టాండబుల్ అండి. ఐ మీన్ నా పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే తను వెళ్ళకుండా కూడా కిడ్నీ అక్కడి నుంచి ఇక్కడ తెప్పించచ్చు కదా అంటున్నాను బేసికల్లీ. చాలా పాసిబిలిటీ ఉంటుంది.
యా పేరెంట్స్ తెప్పించచ్చు. పేరెంట్స్ కి B1 వీసా ఉంది, 10 years ఉంది, ఇంకా
ఉంటే వాళ్ళు రావచ్చు కదా అంటారు పాటు.
యా
I mean, I mean, she can go and come back legally, no issue. But why unnecessarily travel if she can, if the kid can come with her parents to the US? That's my whole point. Yeah. Hope.
Hello.
Yeah.
Employer.
Hello. Yeah, Banu. Are you able to hear? Yeah.
I'm able to hear you, Andy. Yeah.
యా భాను గారు ఇప్పుడు నా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే భాను గారు ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇనిషియల్ H1 నాది అయిపోతుంది సెప్టెంబర్ 1 వరకు ఐ నీడ్ టు అప్లై ఫర్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ సో ఇట్స్ ఇన్ ద ప్రాసెస్ సో రీసెంట్గా వచ్చిన మెమోడం ప్రకారం వీ డోంట్ నీడ్ ఎ క్లయింట్ లెటర్ ఆర్ సమ్ కాంట్రాక్ట్ లెటర్స్ అవసరం లేదు అన్నట్టు న్యూస్ వచ్చింది కదా సో కెన్ ఐ గో విత్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ వితౌట్ అ క్లయింట్ లెటర్ అండ్ వాట్ వాస్ ద పాసిబిలిటీ బికాస్ మా క్లయింట్ నాకు లెటర్ ఇవ్వడం రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తే వాళ్ళు ఇవ్వడం లేదు సో కెన్ ఐ గో వితౌట్ ద క్లయింట్ లెటర్
You should be okay. You should be able to go. Okay. I would tell you even if you have a client letter, I would tell you include that unless if they issue an RFE and if they ask you certain kind of information, I don't see the necessity for you to include any client letter, any agreements or any purchase orders in the beginning. You know?
Yeah, currently నాకు only just there's a small agreement between, they just given the small agreement between the vendor and the client, but they did not give any client letter or like statement of work.
Absolutely.
So okay.
They can't demand you for those things. You're good with that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Banu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next caller, please, Andy.
Hi.
Hey, Banu garu.
Hi.
Hello, Andy.
Hello, Banu garu. Interesting.
వినిపిస్తుందండి. చెప్పండి సార్. హౌ కెన్ ఐ హెల్ప్ యు?
యా భాను గారు, నా పేరు పవన్ అండి. సో మా వైఫ్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. తను యాక్చువల్లీ H4 మీద వచ్చి షీ వెంట్ బ్యాక్ వైల్ H4 ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ వాజ్ పెండింగ్.
ఓకే.
సో ఏమైందంటే వైల్ షీ వాజ్ ఇన్ ఇండియా ఇక్కడ H4 ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ అప్రూవ్ అయ్యి షీ గాట్ అన్ అప్డేటెడ్ I-94. నా H1 వ్యాలిడేషన్ వచ్చి మార్చ్ 2022 దాకా ఉంది, 2022 దాకా ఉంది.
ఓకే.
She also got the I-94 updated till March 2022, and she doesn't have a stamping, and she's in India. So can she travel back once she gets stamping, or like it's still till December 31st?
Still December 31st, 2020, she can travel. That's unfortunate.
Even if she has that approval I-94 till March 2022.
It doesn't matter, basically, because she has to go for the stamping to get an H4 visa to come into this country. That's why, you know. And we need to understand one thing is basically is that once you depart from this country, you are no longer in that status, basically. And that immigration status has nothing to do with it because she's no longer in this country. That immigration status or those laws are not applicable to her. Okay. And only the time those immigration laws and everything will come into existence is when she is again seeking an admission into the United States, you know. And only this time when she wants to seek an admission to the United States, she has to go for a visa. She has to have a valid visa to travel to the United States, which she doesn't have right now, basically, right? And once the consulate opens, she has to go for the stamping. Once her visa is stamped, if it's prior to December 31, 2020, then she has to wait until that time, basically, you know, to travel to the US.
Okay. So one more question, sir. So the executive order, like it said, like 60 days period lo it may change. Like from now, like 60 days lo it might get updated or like changed. And I read it. So like ఈ అప్డేట్స్ ఏమైనా అవునప్పుడు చేంజెస్ అవి ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయా అనుకుంటున్నారా? Like
that's a very good question, Andy. But problem ఏంటంటే don't expect any positive result with it, basically. Okay. He may extend it beyond December 31st, 2020 if it's going to benefit him politically, basically. And because I strongly believe, I mean, America, good thing about America is we can freely speak what we think. That is a great thing about America, is basically, right? And I strongly believe this is more in political nature rather than economical in nature, basically. I mean, I think he's trying to take advantage of the COVID-19 emergency for his political action to be put forth, basically, and nothing more than that. You know?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Murali garu. Banu garu. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Hi, Banu garu. Hi, Banu. This is Rakesh.
Yeah, tell me.
Are you able to hear me, Rajesh?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. Yeah.
సో నేను కరెంట్గా H1B ఉన్నానండి ఎక్స్ కంపెనీతో. సో నేను పర్మ్ ప్రాసెస్ కోసము ఒక ఆల్రెడీ వీసా ట్రాన్స్ఫర్లో ప్రోగ్రెస్లో ఉంది. సో H1B ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ సబ్మిట్ అయింది, రీసెంట్గా ప్రీమియం ప్రాసెస్ స్టార్ట్ చేశారు. సో అప్రూవ్ అయిన తర్వాత మూవ్ అవుదాం అనుకుంటున్నాను. సో ఓన్లీ పర్మ్ కోసమే మూవ్ అవుతున్నాను కంపెనీ ప్రజెంట్గా. సో పర్మ్ ప్రాసెస్లో అవన్నీ హోల్డ్ అయ్యాయి, ఏమన్నా మూవ్ అవ్వచ్చా?
ఏం హోల్డ్ కాలేదు. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ నార్మల్. We're getting approvals, we're getting processed, everything going normal and basically we have not.
అంటే పర్మ్ సబ్మిట్ చేయొచ్చు కదా ఫ్యూచర్ లో, నెక్స్ట్ 2-3 months లో?
Absolutely, Andy. There is no restriction. As I said, there is nothing changed inside the United States basically. There is nothing changed.
There is one more follow up question అండి. సో కరెంట్ అన్ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ పెరిగింది కదా, సో పర్మ్ ప్రాసెస్ ఫ్యూచర్ లో చాలా స్ట్రిక్ట్ అవుతుంది అన్నాను. దాని గురించి ఏమన్నా అప్డేట్ ఉందా అండి మీ దగ్గర?
పర్మ్
ప్రాసెస్ అప్రూవ్
the perm process strict avadam ante em cheyagaltaru cheppandi vallu. Basically they can basically issue more audits for you to review your paperwork, whether employers are genuinely conducting the recruitment and genuinely rejecting the genuinely unable to find qualified US workers or not. That's what they're going to do, nothing more than that. We have seen the situation even worse than this in 2008 and 2009. Okay, and but there if the employers follow the law, if they comply with the regulations, if they do the proper recruitment, if they genuinely cannot find qualified US workers even in this market, I don't see any problem for the PERMs to be approved and I-140s to be filed and everything. And that is what it is basically. That's why you test the labor market prior to the filing a PERM application for any person to get a green card in this country. So
థ్యాంక్స్ అలాట్ అండి. సో ఇప్పుడు వీసా ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేసుకొని మూవ్ అవ్వచ్చు కదా యూఎస్ లో ప్రెసెంట్ గా?
Absolutely, Andy. Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Absolutely. If it's a good opportunity for you, you should not lose that.
Even receipt number also I can move, right? With receipt number also I can move, just without approval also.
Absolutely. Okay. Yes. I mean, because it's a transfer case, basically, you should be able to move on a receipt and you should be able to work with the employer pursuant to the receipt.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Hello. Next caller, please.
Hello.
Yeah, next caller, please.
Hi, this is Arvind. Hi, Banagar. So I have my I-140 approved, but my employer is not shared that I-140 approval notice. So, but I have only receipt number. Can I transfer my visa to other employer?
Yes, you should be able to.
Only receipt number. If they gave me 10-digit number,
enough.
that's it. So
that is enough.
Oh, okay. My new employer won't give me any trouble, right? So I can start processing that.
They should not give you any trouble, and they should be able to process it with the receipt number what you have for your I-140.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Banagar. That's it. Thank you.
If that I-140 number is wrong, then obviously you will be in trouble. That's a different thing.
Yeah, I just entered a I-140 number in the case approval status. It's showing as case is approved.
Yeah. I mean, there should not be any problem with that I-140 number.
Yeah, actually, I got that document from FOS request, right? We can send
that is more than enough. Then why are you worried? You should not even worry at all. You can give that documentation to your employer, to your new employer. And
okay, so whatever I got it from USAS, I can share that document to...
Yes.
Okay. That's called, they mentioned there's a petition. USAS sent me a petition document, which has...
Yes, and the petition documentation, you have your case number and a stamp with your case number saying whether it's approved or denied, whatever it is basically, right?
Yeah, they mentioned a stamp and approved, that's it.
Yes, that's fine. Because it's approved, it will say approved. If it's denied, it will say denied, basically.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Bhanugar. Yeah.
Next caller, please. Next caller, please.
I think Murli Garu, I think they are this thing.
So Bhanugar, it is really a lot of a good discussion today.
Yeah.
So అయితే చాలా మంది కాలర్స్ లో నాకు అర్థమైంది ఒకటి ఏమిటంటే lot of people are maybe are confusing actually. This is nothing to do inside United States people and visa holders and already stamp అయి ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి ఏ విధమైన ప్రాబ్లం లేదని కొంచెం ఆ విషయంలో కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతున్నారు అంతా.
అవునండి, ఆ విషయంలో కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతున్నారు అంతా. I mean, it's understandable కదండి, they're not lawyers basically, right? And and they do not know the nuances of the law, and it's a status issue for them, right? And also family unification also is an issue. If somebody, for example, somebody's an H4, their family and kids are outside the country, and if they have to stay for 6 months, that's going to be really difficult for them to live,
But Bhanu garu, so ఇప్పుడు ఏదైనా ఎమర్జెన్సీ ఉందనుకోండి, లెట్స్ సే లాట్ ఆఫ్ కాల్స్ వీఆర్ గెటింగ్ లైక్ పేరెంట్స్ అట్లా పాస్ట్ అవే కావటం కానివ్వండి, ఎమర్జెన్సీ సిచ్యువేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి. సో లెట్స్ సే దే డోంట్ హ్యావ్ స్టాంప్ బట్ దే వాంట్ టు ట్రావెల్ ఇమీడియట్లీ టు ఇండియా.
But I mean, it's their choice at the time now, because if they don't have a stamp, emergency situation, if you go to India, you are stuck in December 31, 2000.
We need to stuck there.
Yes, basically, because you're going back to your home country. You're not going back to any other country, basically, right? So that's the whole thing.
I have one question.
Yes.
So I have valid I-94 in the US, but I don't have valid visa stamping because I came 3 years back and it was expired in 1 year, 2 years back only. So it's not an issue, right?
If you're in the US, no issue, sir. Basically, don't travel abroad. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It is unfortunate, sir, because what we see is more hardship on the families and their kids, especially if they're outside the country waiting for the stamp to come, and if now they cannot come and join up to 6 months, and their principal spouse is in the US, that's going to be really hardship for the family. Their family unifications, and those are the things which we see. As we see that 28,000 people on H-1B visa are being affected with this, and around 7,000 people who are on L-1 visa are being affected with this. And these are the two major criteria, major visas where we are impacted. Indians basically are generally impacted, basically, right? And that's what it is, basically. And that's where it's really surprising for me that these kind of restrictions have been imposed. Basically, actually, this number is a very small pin of drop of visa holders in the IT industry, basically, right? Or in the industries where these people are working, basically, And those industries, even unemployment rate also is very, very low. It's actually become better during the COVID-19 crisis, basically, Means there have been more hirings happened in the COVID-19 crisis in these particular areas where these visas are actually used. High skilled workers visas have been used. So that is only the sad part which I see with this executive order. But President felt that is the best thing in the interest of the nation, basically, and impose this kind of travel restrictions on certain type of visa categories, basically.
I have one last question, Andy.
Okay.
So recently my friend got a job, he lost his job. So his employer is revoking his H-1B. So he's having 60 days to get his job, right? So after 60 days, he has to leave India. He has to go back to India. After that, can he apply again H-1B? Because his employer is revoked his visa, right? So can he apply and come back again?
Yes, he can. He can apply and come back again. Definitely. And if he's looking for the job, and if he has a hope that he may be able to get a job or anything like that, meanwhile, and if he cannot immediately travel also, he can file for B1B to change his status within that 60-day grace period, basically, and stay in this country, find a job. And if he finds a job, basically, he can file for H-1B change of status anyway at that time also. So he has an option.
He can stay in India, and he can stay here, and he can move, he can convert again H-1B again.
Yes. It's up to him, basically. What is the best?
But he has to get stamping, right? Again, not required.
No, not required, because if it's in the US, it's not required, right? Unless if it goes, unless if the H-1B is approved for consular processing, it's not required to go for stamping, right?
Okay. Thank you. Got it. Thank you. Actually, this is very good information. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Bhanu garu, one last question, sir.
Hi, Bhanu.
Hello.
Yeah, listening, Andy.
Bhanu garu, one last question, sir. ఇప్పుడు పర్మ్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ నాకు డిసెంబర్లో స్టార్ట్ అయింది సార్. డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ లేబర్ వెబ్సైట్కి వెళ్ళి చూస్తే దే మూవ్ టు జనవరి ప్రాసెసింగ్ అని చెప్పి చూపిస్తున్నారు, కానీ నాకు అప్రూవల్ కానీ ఆడిట్ కానీ ఎనీథింగ్, నో ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ యాజ్ సచ్. They have not given any information. So is there any clue that I can take from there?
Unfortunately, no. Sometimes processing times can vary, If it is beyond 30 days, basically, then probably your employer can reach the Department of Labor and ask them basically about the status of the case, and hopefully we will hear from them. Most of the times, if it is that kind of a thing, there could be, I mean, they will be able to consider that request. Basically, we do that in our office. Sometimes it happens basically, and once we get the request from the employer, we approach the Department of Labor and we ask them to provide the updates on the case because it's beyond the normal processing times, as per their processing times, basically. You know, and your employer may be able to do that if it's beyond 30 days of your processing dates, of your priority date. For example, I do not know what is your priority date in December. Let's assume that your priority date is December 15th.
December 14th అనుకుంటాను sir.
And what is the processing times now in the Atlanta? I don't remember actually in my mind.
It's actually showing as 150 days, and already moved to January processing, January 2020 processing.
Yeah, exact date.
Processing.
If it's moved beyond January 14th, then your employer should be able to make a request with the Department of Labor.
Oh, okay. They can file they can request for the status of my specific case. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate that.
Hello, Banu garu. Hello, Banu. I am in US and I am on H1B extension. It is got approved and I didn't travel to India for stamping. But my wife got stamped. So whether she can travel or
Hello.
Because
Hello.
I'm sorry. Let me answer the call, Andy. Let me answer the question asked by the previous caller, basically. And my assumption is the previous caller is trying to ask is that he and his wife went for stamping to India, and he is an H1B and his wife H4, and his wife got the already stamping done for H4, but he has not got done his H1B stamping. And
hello.
And because of that, my whole problem is if you do not have a H1B principal in the US, H4 they will not admit H4 into the country because she has to show that H1B principal is actually maintaining status in the US or physically present in the US at the time somebody is seeking admission on H4 visa into this country. Therefore, H4 alone cannot travel into the United States without H1B being physically present in the United States. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Yeah, good. Hi, actually, this is about DACA.
Okay.
So, if my daughter applied in 2017, but she got denied that time, so can she apply now again for the DACA?
Ma'am, I have to look into because I don't do many of the DACA cases. And if you can reach me separately, I'll be very happy to talk about this one to you. You know, and and I cannot.
But the DACA is enacted, right? That is there.
DACA is not enacted. Basically, DACA, the people already registered to the DACA, they cannot be denied the benefit. I have to look into it. What is the time frame till what date they've given that benefit and everything? I do not recollect on my mind because I did not do many of the DACA cases recently, basically. Okay. Therefore, I appreciate if you could call me tomorrow morning. I'm very happy to discuss in detail privately with you.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hi, Banu garu. This is Naveen. We have applied for my spouse extension H4 and H4 EAD extension back in March 2020. And then since then, the USCIS has been, the offices are closed. We were unable to give her fingerprints, so biometrics. So, and this is her first time for the biometrics. So, recently I heard they are going to open from yesterday, but still I don't see idea when they will be.
They haven't opened yet. Yes. Hello.
Okay, and her current EAD and H4, getting expired by end of this year. So, as the file is in progress, so what would be her status if it goes beyond that? I know she can't take the work beyond that date, but about her H4 status,
you have to make sure that you file one more H4 for her prior to that, so that if this H4, even if it is approved, it will be approved till December. but you file one more H4 extension for her prior to the December, she'll be able to authorize to stay in this country, and that H4 also will be adjudicated based upon this. Because
okay, so you mean to say we have to file one more.
So my question is this to you. You said that you file H4 and H4 EAD to her, or just you file H4 EAD application to her?
No, H4 and H4 EAD, both.
And then you're saying that she has a status till December 2020? How does she have?
Yeah.
I mean, that is from the previous employer. Basically, what happened here? I mean, why did you file her H4 and H4 EAD right now when she already has an H4 status till December 2020?
Because I was moved from one location to other location.
Well,
so during that one amendment, yes.
During amendment, you filed one more H4 for her, basically, which is not required actually, right? Which you don't have to file H4 again, basically. You understand EAD. Probably you filed that H4 and H4 EAD thinking that, but till what date your amendment has been approved?
Mine is 2020. My H1 and H1 amendment, both extension and amendment got approved 2022.
Okay. Then why did you file a H4 again? You should not have filed that one. That was a mistake.
No. I mean, my case was both of us were extensions were valid until end of this year, but due to some reason we have to move one state to other state. So my employer got applied my H1 extension and along with the amendment, and at the same time we filed H4 and H4 EAD as well.
No, my question is this: you don't have to file H4, right? You could have just filed H4 EAD there. Because your amendment, because you applied amendment only till end of this year, basically. Our status is dependent upon your status, basically.
Okay.
You could have just filed H4 EAD rather than H4 again. And that's the reason why our H4 EAD is taking more time, basically, because now they have to wait until your H4 is adjudicated. You don't have to file that H4. Actually, that was a mistake, basically. If you want, you can withdraw that H4, basically, and explain the reason why you're withdrawing that H4, because she has a valid status till December 2020. And you can basically make a request that H4 EAD should be adjudicated independently.
Okay.
And that's what it is, basically.
Okay.
I do not know who advised you to file that H4 along with H4 EAD when she already has a valid status until December 2020, and also when you're only filing for an amendment till December 2020. That was wrong advice.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, my employer, my attorney was suggested to do that one, so
I do not know. So I cannot comment because I've not seen your file. But what the facts was telling me is basically is that it seems like H4 is not required to file. You are required to file H4 extension along with H1B extension prior to expiration of your status and our status as well in December.
Next caller, please.
Hi, Bhanu. Sagar here.
Yes, go ahead then.
So, Bhanu, I heard you from the beginning of the show, and I know this question has been asked multiple times. My wife is on H4 visa and she's back in India. So I just want to ask you one question. Like, if she gets her visa stamp, for example, tomorrow, right? But even after that, she won't be able to travel till end of this year, right? Or are there any certain exceptions, like the H1 is in USA, so that she can be exempted and allowed to travel?
No, sir. Unfortunately, no. That's what they have said. Basically, the exceptions are given only for the food workers and the healthcare workers to a certain extent, in the terms of the national interest, basically, right? If you're working, or if she's going to work, basically in that category, then probably yes. Otherwise, unfortunately, till December 31, 2020, she may not be able to travel to the US.
Okay, so then visitor visa is the only only route she can take to come here before that, right?
It's a possibility, yes. It's a possibility, yes.
Okay.
Visitor visa is a possibility.
Thanks, Bhanu.
F1 visa is a possibility. There's quite a few possibilities.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Bhanu sir.
Yeah.
Yes, next caller, please.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yes, who is this?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, my name is Ram.
Yes, Mr. Ram. How can I help you?
Yeah, I have two questions. Like, I'm on my H1B and it's approved and stamped. Is it okay if I can travel to Canada and come back?
Yeah, it should be okay. If you have a valid visa, it should be okay.
Okay. The other one is my green card processing is about to start. So will it be okay if I can go back to India after the travel ban? Should I be able to travel?
You should be able to travel, sir. I mean, there's nothing says that you cannot travel basically because you have a valid visa right now. But why do you want to travel to India is up to you basically during these times.
Oh, all right. Okay. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So my husband, he's in H1B right now, and he's in US present.
Mhm.
And he has got the H1B extension and I-797 approved, but it's not stamped because he hasn't traveled to India.
Okay.
But using this I-797, I got the H4 stamp till 2022. So is it safe for me to travel?
Absolutely, ma'am. You should travel and come as early as possible. Why do you want to stay there? Your husband is
Okay.
here.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Vanu. Pritam here. I
Hi.
just want to ask one question. Like, can a person be into two separate visa categories? Because I saw your program and like there was a suggestion like if a person cannot travel on H4, they can do like let's say the B2 visitor visa, right? So can they hold two different visa at the same time, or they need to like surrender one and they remain on only one visa?
See, most likely the consulate will cancel one of your visa in the passport. I've seen very few times we saw that basically they're basically not canceling other visa, but 90% of the times what they do is when you apply for a visa, when you go to the consulate for stamping, they will cancel any prior visas, any prior valid visas in the passport without any prejudice. Basically, that's what they will stamp saying cancelled without prejudice. Basically, on the passport visa stamps, that's what they're supposed to do because at the time you can only intend to enter on a particular status in this country at the time you're seeking entry into the United States. You cannot have dual intents. Basically, that means you want to intend in J1 visa or F1 visa or like that. You have to intend whether to come either in F1 visa or a J1 visa at the time you're getting on the flight in India, basically. So 90% of the time, what happens is the consulate will cancel the visa without prejudice when you go and apply for some other status, if you have a valid visa in the passport by that time. Even if it's in the same category also, that's what they do.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, this is Salman. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Salman.
Thanks. So my question is, apologies if this question been asked before I joined the call late. So my employer currently filed my H1 with change of status. Worst case scenario, if H1 petition is approved and change of status is denied, I know since the entry into the US is banned until December 31st, 2020. What are my options? Can I continue staying in the US by pursuing F1, or can you please elaborate on that? Thanks.
No. Can you repeat your question? I'm sorry, it was too fast. I could not understand. Can you repeat your question?
So my employer filed H1 this year with change of status.
Okay.
Let's say if worst case scenario, I'm not hoping denial of change of status. If change of status is denied, H1 petition is approved. What are my options?
So basically, you are saying that if in case your change of status is denied, but it is approved for the consular processing, what are your options? Am I right?
Correct.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So basically, it all depends upon why they deny your change of status. If they deny your change of status, basically stating that you fail to maintain valid legal status in this country, that means you're out of status from the day your change of status is denied. Okay? So at the time, you have no option but to leave the country and apply for a visa and then come back. That will be anytime on or after December 31, 2020. But if the change of status is denied for other technical reasons, for example, if that visa is while the petition is pending, if you basically travel abroad and come back on F1 visa, basically you have a valid F1 visa in your passport, and the change of status may be denied for abandonment. Under those circumstances, you still be able to continue staying on F1 visa in this country. And then again, if you want, you can file for change of status for that petition again once it is approved. So it depends upon what kind of a factors are. I just give you 2 examples basically, but there could be several factors, several situations under these circumstances basically.
All right, thank you.
So this is Ram Kumar. Can you hear me?
This is Teja.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah, Teja, చెప్పండి.
Hello. Yeah, hi Banu garu. నాకు 2 questions ఉన్నాయి. ఒకటి నేను H1B లో ఉన్నాను అండ్ మా వైఫ్ ఇండియాలో ఉంది. తనకి H4 లేదు యాక్చువల్గా, బట్ నేను H4 స్టాంపింగ్ చేసుకుని అంటే ప్లాన్ చేసే లోపల ఇక్కడ రూల్స్ పెట్టారు కదా. సో ఐఎమ్ ప్లానింగ్ టు గో విత్ F1 ఆర్ B1 B2. సో ఇస్ దట్ సజెస్టబుల్?
I'm sorry, Andy, can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah, యాక్చువల్గా నాకు H1 ఉందండి, వ్యాలిడ్ H1. It will be expired sometime in 2023. ఓకే, సో మా వైఫ్ వచ్చేసి ఇండియాలో ఉంది. సో తను యాక్చువల్గా H4 వేసుకొని రావాల్సి ఉండే, కాకపోతే ఈ లాక్డౌన్ వల్ల ఇలా ఇష్యూ వచ్చి ఆగిపోయింది. సో నేనేమనుకుంటున్నా అంటే క్యాన్ షీ కమ్ విత్ B1 B2 ఆర్ F1? సో F1 B1 B2 ఏం ఇష్యూస్ లేవు కదా, సో అలా ఏమన్నా ట్రావెల్
You should be able to come, Andy. Once the consulates open services in India for visa services, yes, she should be able to apply for B1, B2 and F1 as long as she can show that she has ties to India and she intends to return back home country once she completes her B1 visa or F1 education in this country. If she can establish that, then there should not have any problem coming on B1, B2 visa or F1 visa prior to December 31, 2020. And if it's after December 31, 2020, as of now, she should not be having any problem coming on H4 visa basically. So
right, yeah,
she should be able to.
Yeah, got it, thanks. సెకండ్ క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చేసి ఇంకొక మా ఫ్రెండ్ వచ్చేసి ఇండియాలో ఉన్నాడండి, ఇప్పుడు స్ట్రక్ అయిపోయాడు. యాక్చువల్గా వాడు ఏంటంటే జనవరిలో ట్రావెల్ చేశాడు, బట్ June 31 వరకే ఉంది తన H1B. సో హీఈస్ ఇన్ ఇండియా రైట్ నౌ. ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ వచ్చేసి తను ఇప్పుడు జాబ్ ఇక్కడ నుండి కూడా రిలీజ్ చేశారు తన్ని. సో ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ ఎప్పుడు చేయాలండి? యాక్చువల్గా ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ June 30 దాటిన తర్వాత చేయొచ్చా, June 30 లోపే చేయాలా?
ఇప్పుడు ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ అనేది ఉండదండి, బికాస్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఇన్ దిస్ కంట్రీ కదా, ఈజ్ ఇన్ ఇండియా కదా. సో ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ అనేది whoever the employer is filing has to file a new petition that is not subject to the cap for the consular processing anamata. So there is no extension. Anytime it can be filed because it's not in the US kabatti.
Oh, okay, and got it.
It's a valid job that employer can file anytime that H1B petition. There is no timeline on that.
ఓకే, ఇంకా మళ్ళీ కొత్తగా వేసుకోవాల్సిందే H1.
Yeah, but it's not subject to the cap. So it can be filed in.
Yeah, అర్థమైంది. Correct. Yeah, thanks అండి, thanks a lot.
Definitely.
Hi Banu garu, this is Ram Kumar. This is Pradeep.
Murli garu, you're saying something, Andy? I'm sorry.
This is Ram Kumar, Andy. I have a question on H4. The previously asked someone if they can come on visitor visa. So my wife is in India now. She doesn't have valid visa. She need to get it stamped. If she comes here on visitor visa, can she extend or can she get the H4 renewal from here?
Yeah. She can file for H4 change of status here, Andy. Yeah.
Okay. So on the visitor visa, when she comes here, so she need to go back and then come on H4, or she can stay here and get the H4 renewed?
Yes, Andy, absolutely. If she's here, basically, that's what she should be able to do it, Andy.
No. So she's in India. If she comes here on visitor visa,
that's what I'm saying. Sir. When she comes back here on a visitor visa, and then while she's on a visitor visa here, she should be able to change the status to H4. As I said in the past, we have to look for the 60-90 day rule to file for the H4 basically. Okay,
got it.
Sure, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hi Banu garu, this is Pradeep.
Yes, Pradeep.
Yeah. So couple of questions same చాలా మంది అడిగారు. సో ఇప్పుడు H1 లో నేను ఉన్నాను. మా వైఫ్ ఇప్పుడు ఈ మంత్ ఎండ్ ప్లాన్ చేసుకుని వెళ్దాం అనుకున్నారు ఇండియాకి, అండ్ షీ ఈజ్ ప్లానింగ్ టు స్టే దేర్ ఫర్ 6 months. సో ఆఫ్టర్ 6 months అంటే జనవరి తర్వాత అయినా సరే, డూ యూ థింక్ ఇంకా ఏమైనా ఇష్యూస్ ఉంటాయి అనుకుంటున్నారా? లేదంటే వన్స్ బ్యాన్ లిఫ్ట్ అయిపోతే H4 స్టాంపింగ్స్ కానీ అన్ని ఈజీ అయిపోతాయి యాజ్ యూజువల్గా ఉంటాయి అనుకుంటున్నారా?
Sir, I'm not expecting the problem in the is that if I say anything now, people may say that I'm sorry. I think, can you hear me now? Can you all hear me now? Sorry for that mistake. It got muted. My phone, my thing. What I'm trying to say is basically is this, Andy. I mean, I will not keep any. This has nothing to do with the economy, nothing to do with the COVID-19. This is based upon the political agenda of the current administration, basically, and that's why these policies are being basically enacted or implemented basically by the current agenda. Basically, if the current administration comes into power again after November 2020 elections, basically, I will not be surprised if this policy is extended even further beyond December 31, 2020. That's all I can say. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Bani Garu. This is Praveen here.
Yeah, Mr. Praveen. Yeah.
Hey, hi. Thank you very much for doing this. So my question is, I'm on H-1B, which is valid until next month, 31st of July. And I-94 is on like 10 days later, August 10th. And I have 140 approved. Since my H-1B is expiring next month, I have already applied the H-1B extension, and it is approved today. So my plan is to go to Canada next month and come back before July 31st. So will I be facing the ban as well?
Yeah. If you need a visa stamping, yes. If you don't need a visa stamping,
I'm not going for a visa stamping because I'm coming back before 31st of July next month, which is my stamp is expiring.
Okay, if you have a valid visa by the time, then you should be okay, sir. You should be able to come.
So I can come back before 31st of July.
Yes, absolutely, sir, absolutely, you should be able to come back.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for doing this. Yeah.
Thank you. Murli Garu, I think.
Yes. Hi, Bani Garu.
Yeah, sir. We'll take one call because I think we're running out of the time. We got the notification from the Mana TV saying that we have to end the show. So we'll take one more call. And Murli Garu, please.
Yes. Thank you, Bani Garu. So we have several callers, but we are out of time.
Yeah.
So thank you. First of all, thank you so much to giving your wonderful suggestions to all our Mana TV viewers. We would like to say thank you for your time today. So we would like to thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
It's my honor, sir. It's very humbling for me. And thank you Mana TV. Thank you Sridhar Garu, and thank everybody basically who actually gave this opportunity to speak now and to the Mana TV audience and everybody. And I feel it's an humble experience for me, sir. And thank you very much for considering me to come on the show and discuss about the current issue with the immigration laws and everything.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you all. Have a good night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and please follow strictly social distancing policies because of the COVID-19 crisis going on across the country, across the world. All of you, please stay safe. Thank you. Thank you.